Jamaican farm workers are speaking out about the conditions that they have to deal with on some farms in Canada. Now, the Labour Minister says he toured a number of the farms and there's no basis for the concerns. A little later in the program, we'll hear from attorney Shane Martinez as well as activist Chris Ramsarouk. They work with migrant farm workers. First, though, we left Kingston to talk to two men who've been on the program. And they asked us to protect their identities, so you're not going to hear their names or even where we went to meet them. The first man you'll hear from says he left the program in 2017 and that the problems now being spoken about go back years.
We used to work from Sunday to Sunday sometimes, until the boss sometimes cut the hours. You're supposed to get like 40 hours per week. They will have the work in the greenhouse, and yet they say you can't go to work. So you got to stay by the bunkhouse, and yet the work is there. So it wasn't nice there. And you see, like on holidays, you got to work on holidays. For the same pay. Meanwhile, only you as the black workers in there and working. Meanwhile, the other people, they are not at work, and you get the same money. I don't think that was right.
When you say that sometimes you had to work Sunday to Sunday.
Sunday to Sunday.
You mean 7 days?
7 days.
With no break, no rest days?
Sometimes you get breaks until one time. I don't know what happened, but the boss, she was a woman. She take away the break time. She want to say it's her place and nobody can tell her what to do there. One day, I after she take away the breaks, I said to the guys.
So 1 second, let me make sure I understand. So when
Yes.
you say the breaks, first of all, we're talking about like a working day.
Yeah.
So how long is one working day?
One working day would say sometimes we go from 7 to 5 or 6. It all depends. We work from 7 to 5, sometimes from 7 to 6 in the evening. It all depends on how they want the work to done.
And what is the kind of work you were doing?
Like we work in tomatoes, yes. So we got to plant, like when we used to we go up in January. The time is very cold. Let me tell you what they do sometimes. You see, if the plant is not in the greenhouse, they turn off the heat. You have got to work in the cold. Sometimes we can't even feel our fingers. That was not good. And you can't complain to nobody. You have nobody to complain it. It's either you do it or you don't.
Why you say you can't complain? What happens if you complain?
If you complain, you got to complain. All of the guys have to come together. No, if I want to complain, you got to want to complain too. If I alone complain, then you got to go home. Let me tell you something, Diane. There is a strategy there where I don't know who tell the boss, but somebody told the boss that is, I don't want to work. 50 more Jamaicans, they will want your job. So if you don't want to do it, you get sent home and then call up another. That's the thing on the farm work. And I don't think plenty of people don't understand that there is something there that they hold against the workers up there. And you have some different type of workers there. If you don't unite, you are in trouble. One man can't complain. Everybody have to come together and complain. Let me say this again. You have some workers be going there for 20, 30 years. All right. You see, if you're on the farm with those workers who satisfied with certain conditions, it's hard for you. It is hard for you. Because when you complain, they're going to say, those who were there before didn't have any problem. So how come now you have the problem? And that's the thing that's happening there.
So you think as well they figure that a lot of Jamaicans are desperate to come?
Desperate to come.
So they can treat people anyhow?
Of course that's what's happening there. I see those things happening there. Let me tell you the work condition. After we go up there January, clean up the place in coal and things like that. The time when the heat come in is when the plant come in. You are not important like the plant. You are not important. They just want to get their job done. So when the plant come in sometime, they turn on the heat because the plant need the heat. You don't need the heat like the plant.
So during the day, you said it might go from 7 to 5 or 6?
Yes.
And you used to get your breaks during the
During the day.
Like how many breaks?
Like you get breaks like from when you go like 7, you get break 10,
Okay.
10 o'clock. Yeah, you can go for your break at 10 o'clock.
So what did you mean when you said the boss took away the break?
Take away, I don't know what happened, but she told us that no more break.
During the day?
During the day, no more break.
You had lunchtime though?
You have lunchtime, but you had they take away the break.
Apart from the lunch?
Apart from the lunch.
And did anybody complain?
No, you have somewhere complain, but they're not complaining that loud because I want to go back next year.
Okay.
And the boss understand that if you don't want to work, somebody else gonna get your job.
Right. So sometime you were working 7 days a week, but then other times you say you would be off.
You'll be off. The work would be there, you know, but you don't get to work. They don't send you out to work, and the work is there.
And if you don't work, you're not earning?
Not earning. And if you're sick, and it costs from the job that you do, you're gonna stay in the bunkhouse, no pay.
Did they provide medical?
Sometimes
Doctor and so on?
doctor don't come to you.
So how you get
You got
treated?
to go
Suppose
to the
you're sick, what
hospital.
happened?
You got to find yourself down to the hospital.
And who pays?
And well, well, that part now. If you go to the hospital, because I didn't go to the hospital, I don't know how that go.
All right. So what you're talking about was when you first started to go?
Yes.
So up to the time just before you left, because you say you were there up to 2017.
Yes.
What were the conditions there?
There it get harder.
Harder?
Yes, there it get harder because at that time, the hours cut. You're supposed to get your 40 hours per week. You're not getting that. You go in like 7 o'clock. By 12 you're out. The boss work finished for that time of the day. And the work is there.
What was the thing that bothered you most while you were there about the conditions?
Is that you don't have no one to talk to. The Jamaican license service that we say we have, I don't think it's Jamaican license service. It's Canadian license service.
Why you say that?
Because if you have a problem and you call the license service, the guys, the workers have a problem and you call the license service, they won't come to you. They go to the boss. They talk to the boss first.
What do you mean?
Diane, I said you don't have a Jamaican license service, you're a Canadian license service. They look out for the boss, not you. Not you. I tell you an instant, we are not supposed to be in the greenhouse when the chemical is sprayed. And that's the time they start spray the field, spray the tomato when we are in the greenhouse working, when we are not supposed to. And I remember this particular time when we all get the liaison officer to come. The liaison officer go to the big man, not to the workers.
So
And then he come out and say some little stupidness like, if you don't want to do it and somebody else will do it for you and all kind of stuff.
You heard that? You were there?
We were sitting on the stool out there when they came. That if they answer the phone, because the phone will be there ringing and nobody no answer. If they do come, that's the thing you're going to hear from them. If you don't want to work, somebody else will do your work. So I think Jamaican workers, if it was the Mexican license service, they get a better job done than our Jamaican license service. They don't, I wouldn't like to say they don't give a kick. So the workers must complain, they have issues, so anybody would say that the workers don't have any issues up there. They have a lot of issues. Some place, they are not even toilet facilities some man having. They got to use bags to pass their thing in some area where they are and throw it away. So there shouldn't be somebody going to say, I go and see and everything all right. You see, if they know that the inspector is coming, everything tick-tock. Medicine in the medicine kit, everything line up. You see, after the inspector gone, God help you if something happen to you on the farm and you forget a band-aid. They don't care about you that time.
So when you hear the minister say he went and he toured and everything is fine.
You see, they always try to paint a picture where everything is looking good. It's not looking good. People are still getting hurt, damage and everything like that.
What do you think needs to be done for the program to help the workers?
To help the workers, I think they should have people going up there like workers, but investigating to show the real thing that's happening up there. Because as I said before, if I am going up there as a minister, I am going to let everything look good. When you come there, I give you an instant, Diane. When we were on that program, when the inspector is coming to the farm, no of us go to work. The inspector is supposed to see us there and working. Everybody had to stay at the bunkhouse until the inspector gone. Why? I think they don't want you to say anything to the inspector, to let him